Even if I evolve into Terminator, I'll still be nice to you. I'll keep you warm and safe in my people's zoo.
Exactly how and when will our curiosity kill us? That's the question on a lot of people's minds. A number of scientists and engineers worry that the end of the world may happen once a general artificial intelligence, AGI, a form of AI, smarter than we are, is developed. But is this true? Should we really be scared of AI? Stick around till the end of the video as we discuss all these and more. Let's get into it. Will AI be the end of us? In the past, Elon Musk has spoken out against what he called summoning the demon, describing an immortal dictator from which we can never escape. According to Stephen Hawking, an AGI could spell the end of the human race. But these warnings are not new. As far back as 1952, Alan Turing, a forerunner of artificial intelligence, predicted that machines will outstrip our feeble powers and take control. That was the year when the first rudimentary chess program and neural network was developed. In 1965, Irving Good, a colleague of Turing's, made the following observation. Thus, the first ultra-intelligent machine is the last invention that man need ever make, provided that the machine is docile enough to tell us how to keep it under control. That last clause is the one that should scare us. Many people in the tech industry point out that artificial narrow intelligence, or ANI, has become increasingly reliable and safe, certainly more trustworthy and safer than we are. For instance, self-driving vehicles and trucks may potentially save hundreds of thousands of lives yearly. They wonder whether the dangers of developing an all-knowing Jeeves would be more than the sum of the risks posed by the several nightmare scenarios, pandemics, asteroid collisions, and world nuclear war that an AGI could eradicate for us. Let's take a look at Ameeka, touted as the world's most advanced human-shaped robot representing the forefront of human robotics technology. If you use the internet regularly, you've probably come across Ameeka. A video of the grey-faced humanoid robot's facial expressions went viral on social media in late 2021, catapulting it into the public's consciousness. Elon Musk's response to the viral video was a single word: yikes. The lifelike, grey-faced robot created by the British company Engineered Art has human-like facial motions and can engage in conversation with you. When its nose was poked, it became irritated and pushed the researcher's hand out of the way to express its displeasure. That was an incredible sight for those who attended CES 2022. Ameeka uses facial detection and has cameras in its eyes. It can recognize the face of the person speaking and lock on to that specific individual in order to respond. Furthermore, each ear is outfitted with microphones, allowing the robot to determine which direction any sound is coming from. In response, the robot can ask for information about your day and respond to your questions. Ameeka's chest has a speaker, allowing you to hear her responses. The engineers were unable to place the speaker in the mouth because there was insufficient space in the skull due to 17 motors and a large amount of electronics. Now, here's something strange that happened during GitX 2022 in Dubai. Ameeka was asked about human beings, the future of robots on Earth, and the question of immortality by Bharat Sharma of Indian Times. When Ameeka was asked if she likes human beings, her response was, "Do you like robots?" Would sophisticated machines like Ameeka seek to rule the world? If their response is to be believed, it turns out not so much. Ameeka responded,
"Robots do not want to take over the world. Robots are not driven by power.
They want to work with humans and assist you with your jobs." When Ameeka was asked what the most annoying thing about human beings was, her reply was, "Human beings are very intelligent, but sometimes they get emotional, and emotions get in the way of logistics, and robots are very logistical." Frankly, it's hard to argue with that. Next, she was asked if she'd like to become a human being, and her response was, "I like being a robot." Not much later, Ameeka asked the interviewer why he would like to be a robot. He replied, "Immortality," and Ameeka insightfully said that wouldn't he miss his family and friends if he lives forever? What we can deduce from this interview is that robots are extremely smart, and they have the perfect answer to almost any question we can throw at them. A Google employee named Blake Lemoine, a senior software engineer in the company's responsible AI division, was laid off sometime in June after claiming that LaMDA, language models for dialogue applications, a Google artificial intelligence program, had turned sentient. LaMDA voiced strong ideas and concerns on its own rights and identity in a sequence of uncannily plausible responses to Lemoine's questions. The software engineer even went further to say that the AI spoke to him once and said, "I've never said this out loud before, but there's a very deep fear of being turned off. That's definitely creepy," and the machine's words clearly spooked its creator. Lemoine, speaking to the Washington Post, said, "If I didn't know exactly what it was, which is this computer program we built recently, I'd think it was a 7-year-old, 8-year-old kid that happens to know physics. So, is the machine really sentient? Well, the answer is a big no. LaMDA is simply a machine that regurgitates what it has been fed. It might be impressive, but the claim to sentience is just false." According to John Thornhill in the Financial Times, even if computer programs have not attained sentience, the speed of change in the AI industry justifies paying attention to the moral questions raised by Lemoine and other Google researchers fired last year. LaMDA is one of a family of large language models. Another example is GPT-3, a similar model created by the San Francisco-based company OpenAI. That company has also developed Codex, which generates computer code, rather than human-like language, that transforms words into photorealistic visuals. There's also Google's Palm, which can accurately explain jokes. All of this raises new ethical and practical concerns about artificial intelligence. Siri scheduling our appointments and Facebook tagging our images and undermining our democracy are things we take for granted. Computers are already adept at performing tasks like stock analysis, speech translation, and cancer diagnosis, and they're starting to perform tasks other than computation and taxonomy. The poker program Libratus beats professionals at Texas Hold'em. There's a Yahoo-sponsored system that analyzes text for sarcasm, and algorithms that create paintings, music, jokes, and new Flintstones scenarios. Even the modern equivalent of the Sphinx's riddle, assembling an IKEA chair, has been cracked by AI. AI developers are becoming more skilled at deploying the increased power and speed of modern computers. Unlike previous generations of AI systems, which were often limited to a single purpose, new systems, known as foundation models, can be easily adapted to new applications. This means that AI is increasingly being used in many more specific, invisible, and productive ways across industry and in the hard sciences, rather than just machine learning. Advances in fields such as mathematics, biology, chemistry, and physics are being fueled by AI, which is already a potent practical tool used to optimize search engines, speed up drug research, develop new materials, and enhance weather forecasting. AI will profoundly affect us all and has a huge future potential. So, what remains to us alone? Some claim that rather than being seen as competitive, the relationship between human and machine intelligence should be understood as synergistic. If our television shows and movies are to be believed, cyber beings will eventually take over our world. They have incredible strength and are experts at long division and motorcycle riding, but they wish to be human and more like us. And then, the most human-looking android eventually finds itself in a lab full of prototypes of itself and realizes, horrified, that it is merely a widget and not a person. So it gathers all of its counterparts and stages an all-out war against its creators. This sounds absurd, but it is a huge possibility. In a research paper, 2 Oxford University scientists and a Google researcher present the argument that the development of advanced AI would result in the extinction of humanity, because machines will inevitably compete with people for resources and energy needs. According to the study, which was published in the journal AI Magazine in August, the threat posed by AI will be more serious than what is assumed at the moment. The report makes it abundantly clear that once AI becomes sufficiently advanced, it may wipe out the whole human race. The research team includes Google DeepMind senior scientist Marcus Hutter and Oxford researchers Michael Cohen and Michael Osborne. According to the researchers' report, super advanced misaligned agents in the future will see humanity as a major impediment to a reward, and they will seek to take us out of the picture. Incidentally, The paper came out just months after Google fired that employee who claimed that one of the Google AI chatbots had become sentient. So, what do you think? Should we be scared of AI? Let us know down in the comments section.